Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, the birth and death process needed to find God. First, I'd love to share with you what I mean by birth and death. Your being is constantly reshifting and literally reinventing its relationship to life, to the consciousness, the molecules, the energy, the well beingness of the life force itself. We struggle with it, we confront it, we confront ourselves, we ease into it, we can ooze into it, we can surrender into the process of becoming and unbecoming who we are. And there is a turning point that happens when the struggles begin to loosen up inside of ourself, the gripping on, the way that we hold on. And we are taught more how to adapt into life than we are taught how to release, surrender, and move in life. Birth is the ignition of a part of you. In our physical birth, you are being born, your soul coming into a new body. It's either a shocking experience or filled with ease and grace. You learn how to awaken into your life through understanding your birth and what you went through. When you live your life each day curious and learning, being with and observing from deep within, from a feeling level, what that birth point is for you, you get to emerge into your life. You get to birth yourself anew as you are here receiving this message, this conversation. I am with you as you are moving into the places inside of you that naturally birth. Your thoughts naturally take in, receive that impulse of life within you. That's your birth point. That's the place where you can enter into to move your life forward financially, how you show up in your major relationship or show up with strangers, how you show up with yourself when you go brush your teeth in the morning. How are you awakening to you? Your death points. What is death? It's a transition. It's a shift from physical death, matter, into the finer, esoteric, subtle existence of yourself moving through the inner planes of life, of creation, into the essence, the very source, touching God. We're always, always moving away or towards the true birth and death experience of our soul. I was seeking this information and the pure experience of this since I was a child. I feel that all of us, and possibly you can feel into how you have created moments in your life where you have been awakening, realizing what letting go, surrender, and really being sometimes shook up to your core to realize something. We're living in a time where life and death are a Shakespearean drama and in many ways continuous tragedies. And those conflicts of moral psyche and ethics and choices are everywhere. We get to see destruction, and we are all wanting deeper rebirth in our world, a world based more upon interconnected peace and strengthening one another instead of creating greater hardships based upon the psyche ignoring and denying the cycles of life and death. You might want to honor the ways that you flow with your life. I know some of you who are listening are going through many deep, intense challenges physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. And many of you listening who are sitting here in the peace, the inner connection to the source within you, and going deeper into that connection for your deeper solace, your inner strength, the courage that it takes to step out of the way our mind wants things to be and pop through into reality. That's what the birth and death, the inner the psyche process of birth and death can do for us. And yes, it brings us closer into the source within you, the source, that infinite, infinite presence that is that everlasting source. God within you, the presence of essence and true love power, the union of love and power within you as a human being is what is evolved through the way that life shows up and can kick you in the ass and also push you in the right direction or gently nudge you. What gets in the way of our birth and death process? Well, your resistance, my resistance, my fear, your fear, the fear of being vulnerable, and the fear of losing everything that we have. And I've been through that dance in this lifetime and continue different cycles of understanding it. Perhaps we could say it's the way our astrology is, our blueprint as we enter into our life and what that gives us. We each have a different relationship. You can take a look at where Scorpio is in your astrology chart to better understand the dance that you are dancing with, your process of awakening, letting go, dying to a particular perception, belief system, or life circumstance so that you can be pulled closer into God. God happens through the middle point within inside of you God is found through the silence, the listening, and going through and beyond the thoughts that pop up from the little mind, the mind who is desperately holding on. And as we learn to let go, it's all meant, to support you, to hold on to the inner, what I call your power, your source of existence, who you truly are. And let's just be here together and for you to feel who you really are and how you can open up that doorway or crack the window open a little more right now so that you are being in who you truly are. Sometimes the truly who you are, you, is patiently waiting. Sometimes it's trying to break down a door. Sometimes the you that you truly are feels like it goes away, but it doesn't go away. We go away from it. It knows it's here to exist. Isn't that beautiful? You are here to exist. You are here to truly exist. I spent quite a few years in training with a remarkable mentor, healer, teacher, psychologist, and she gave me the opportunity. This goes well over 30 years ago to work in her clinic, and I entered in as a dance therapist and was promoted up to primary therapist and had the opportunity to work with teenagers and young adults who had the diagnosis of schizophrenia, bipolar, borderline dynamics. And it was where I discovered I was clairvoyant because I could naturally, easily see where a person, man or woman, had their psychotic split. And I could see the moment. And this helped me be able to show up and guide them to feel more deeply in their body. So, what I learned that I want to share with you is that I realized through doing my own inner work that was part of the working in this clinic. It was based on Native American and deep psychology, bioenergetics, therapy, and core energetics, the work of Alexander Lowen and then John Parakos. And also, I was doing so much inner work, including rebirthing back then, to open up and experience my essence, who I am. And I realized that all of my clients and everyone here at this clinic had the most astounding heart centers. And deep inside themselves, they didn't know, they couldn't feel, they didn't have that embodiment connection with them self knowing that they could exist. And I realized that I had existence issues. I didn't believe or know that I had the right to exist. I doubted my own existence. Most of us are born and raised to live for our parents' expectations, projection, needs, and desires. We become something, someone that is meant to do something other than fulfill our own existence. I'm sharing my story to support your remembrance of yourself. And if you felt that you could exist without there being struggle, or you taking away something from someone, or that your own existence got in the way of supporting one or both of your parents' sense of self and who you were supposed to be for them, and how that has played a role in your life. Towards the end of this awakening period for myself, there are different cycles. Here you've got different cycles of awakening: birth, realizing a new perception. Each day is an awakening, but we have larger cycles that you can track. Oh, I was in that cycle. It might have been in a relationship where you are meant to awaken out of a dream, out of a perception, out of an illusion of what you think love is, how you think you're supposed to be. And either the relationship dies or something inside of you has to awaken, to shift, so that your concept, your picture of the relationship, the other person, and yourself shifts. So at the end of this awakening cycle that really began for me years before, like I'm working at this clinic, it started when I was married. I got married in my mid 20s, and that marriage lasted for 12 years. Noticed I have a 12-year cycle in my life that are larger awakening and death cycles, where there is the beginning, the growing into a new level of myself, and then an ending to that cycle, a death experience of letting go of a place, a time of prosperous growth, or a time of inner death growth. So these are something just to look at. So here I'm at the end of this awakening cycle, and I've had to go through many levels of realizing my own attachments to how I want things to be, and also creating my life to not be the full embodiment and expression of me, and what that would look like. So I'm going to show some examples of this with you. When you are in your full existence and you allow yourself to awaken completely, there's a part of you inside that I'm calling the ego self, because we create the ego to protect us. That part in yourself works to push down, shove down, deny the awakening you, the all of you, your full potential. In this cycle that was happening in my life, I had a profound opportunity that I created to spend time with my mother, who was living in New York, my birthplace, and we had some almighty heart to hearts. And she said, I want to tell you why I've been so angry at you, so enraged at you my whole life. And it definitely caught my interest, because this was a dynamic that existed between us. And she said, I've been so angry at you because you didn't live for me. And in that moment, I felt a deep opening, an anticipation, and I looked at her. I said, Mom, I was born in this lifetime to not live for you, not to give my life over to you. I was born through you to be true to and fulfill the mission, the sole purpose that I came in with. And there was silence. And understanding that my mother was karmically far from knowing how to find that inner doorway to herself, to pursue finding herself through herself. She needed me to give my life energy, my sense of existence, which had been confused. I had already done a lot of inner work to be able to verbally say that to her and for there to be, I can't say there was an acceptance of it because it was up against and went against what she wanted. So she fought the process. My mother fought the process of awakening and dying. Consequently, later on in life, had a very rough dealing with death and the slow deterioration towards death and of her own mind. What I've been discovering in this awakening and death cycle in my life is that the more I let go, the more I move through the fear of existing and really being all of me, the sharper my mind gets, the more intuitive I become, the more connected I feel with life, with others, and with the source of my existence, the source of your existence, which is one existence. So when we try to exist our own way and we are pushing from the ego survival self, whatever its role is, whether it wants everything, to have whatever it wants, to teach you to go without, to prove to you that you don't deserve to exist, to prove to you that you really are unworthy, it keeps you from living in the birth and death process of life. That when you connect to the natural cycle of your birthing into your awakening, the you that you are, the one that you are, the oneness that you are, the one you that is whole and has come through believing it needs to live in separation, that your role is to compartmentalize the different feelings inside of yourself so that you never have to go through loss, that you never have to go through grief, that you get to stay perfect, that you get to stay functioning in just the roles that you have set up to play each day, but continue to stay asleep. It keeps you, keeps me, keeps us from God, from Source. So, my dear friends, I want to invite you to take the veil down between living and dying, to live in the center point where you get to awaken into who you are, the infinite you, into the resource, the wisdom, the brilliance, the infinite intelligence within the you that lets go into being one in you. And each moment is an inhale and an each moment is an inhale and an exhale, a return to you. And with this, I hold you in love and see you and hold you in the pure brilliance of your gorgeous existence and what you're here to bring into the world. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Come join me in the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village and subscribe at my website and be a member. And as a free member, you'll get a lot of goodies, including Living from Your Wild Heart. That will be delivered in your inbox every Saturday. It's the place to start. Just come, join in. I look forward to seeing you at some point in one of my events and hearing from you, and you just knowing that you are supported and loved. Until next time, this is Ayana Leahy.